Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from Razor Emporium coming at you today for a quick product spotlight looking at 1944. Well, it was a matter of time that we had to do something like this. It's been, what, 7 years of making soap and aftershaves in-house with the Razor Emporium line that's all vegan based, and then now of course the Rex line that's all tallow based. And of all the different things we've done, we've never done a bay rum. And so, you know, we launched 1988 last year around Black Friday, you know, holiday time, and everyone said, oh, what's going to be next? Are you going to do 1999? Are you going to go earlier, 1944? And I said, earlier. Rex is a mid-century brand. Rex is not, there will never be a 1999. In fact, this is the last of the decades from Rex. I know you're sad, but I like things that are symmetrical. Okay, so we got 5 products here. I don't want to end on an even number of 6, because when you put them all together, then you have 2 on the sides and 1 in the middle. So it looks really good. So we got 44, 55, 66, 77, 88. And it's all in the mid-century. Rex is a mid-century brand. If you didn't already pick up on it, the styling, the branding, the logo, the packaging, everything's mid-century modern. It's my favorite design style. And we're going to end here. We're going to end on a note that I think is, honestly, I just got done using it for a shave video. And I think it's very exciting because I'm not even a big bay rum fan, but I knew it was the last missing component. When you think of revisit excellence, kind of like the promise of Rex, you know, we can revisit all these wonderful things, floral notes from 55, citrusy notes from 67, 66, you know, 77 more musky and amber and all this, and 88. And so it's like, but what's the missing component? Bay rum. Bay rum. And what better way to do bay rum than to pull out 1944? I told our designer I want to have the inspiration like Casablanca, the label. You know, I want these, you know, kind of black and white, but that really bold, you know, crimson red. It's wartime in America. It's wartime in Europe. And I know for me, my grandfather served in World War II. I remember him smelling like bay rum. I remember him using that kind of product and musky products and, you know, big, you know, notes here. And I also remember him, he was in the United States Air Force. Before it was the Air Force, it was called the Army Air Corps, and he had a leather jacket. And so the combination of that leather jacket and that bay rum, it's grandpa. And that was the inspiration. I told DJ, our soap maker, I said, we got to do something that has a little different take. We can't just do a standard bay rum. Everyone's got a bay rum. What's the little note here that's going to be different? So the leather, a little citrus, some oak moss, some other ones. We'll dive in on that in a second, but that's kind of the inspiration. And this is going to round out the decades. We do have a really cool plan for the next kind of chapter of the Rex soaps, and it'll be a very different chapter. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's exciting, and we're going to be excited for that. But this will be the last of the decades. And I think really the idea was to have kind of a genre of each. You know, I don't want any 2 circles overlapping each other. There's a whole world here now within the Rex soaps. If you want something, there's probably one of the 5 that you're really going to like. And speaking of like, let's dive in on 44. And let's talk about some of the scent notes it has. The top notes. Now, these are your first impressions. They're fresh and sharp and awakening. We have West Indian bay leaf, which is warm, spicy, and aromatic. We have bitter orange zest, which adds a crisp vintage citrus bite. And clove bud, it's bold and spicy with a barbershop flair. The heart is kind of the middle notes. It's the core. It's where the personality lives, so to speak. It's worn leather, rich, smoking, masculine. Cinnamon bark, warm and inviting. Allspice and nutmeg adds depth and slightly sweet spice. And geranium, which is a subtle floral note to balance and lift. And lastly, we have base notes, which are kind of the long-lasting and they dry down. It's what lingers on your skin. We have dark rum accord. It's a boozy kind of warmth and richness. Cedarwood, which is dry, woody, and clean. Vanilla bean, soft sweetness that rounds off the spice. And oak moss, it's earthly and grounding and gives a true vintage touch. I know that all sounds like a mouthful. There's a lot of things going on, but I can promise you, like I said, we just did a shave review video before this where I actually used it, and it was my first time using the product. This has been probably one of the hardest things for DJ to hit. I swear we've probably been working on this for at least 4 or 5 months, back and forth, recipe after recipe, blend after blend. She'd walk in my office with a little towel and say, smell this, you know, with the different notes on it. I'd be like, no, that's not good. because bay rum is just not my personal cup of tea. I have nostalgia for it, but I would never personally probably just go out and buy some bay rum. But I'm telling you, this one, it hits hard. It hits in a good spot. And I was telling Natalie on set with me today, my camera person, I said, this is nice. I mean, when I was finishing up the shave, it just filled the entire room. It's very strong. It's powerful. It packs a punch. It smells like your grandpa. It's going to throw you back to 1944, to simpler times, post-World War II. You know, this is America right here. So if you haven't already done so, check out 1944, the newest from Rex and our line of the Old World Tallow series, and the last chapter of the decades, 1944. That's all I got. If you've tried 44 or another bay rum, tell me below in the comments what your favorite one is. I want to hear from you. That's all I got, guys. We'll see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving.